I don't sleep 4 or 5 hours a night. By the end of the first week, I was sleeping 8, 9 hours. My knees stopped hurting in the first week. I had so much energy that, like I said, it was great. If the weight loss happened, that was just icing to the cake.
Cindy, thanks for coming in today.
No
So
problem.
excited
Thanks
to
for
have you
having
in
me.
here. Yeah. So start off by telling me a little bit about yourself and what you do and how long you and I have been working together.
Well, let's see. I'm in professional banking. I've been in banking for about 30 years. You and I joined a team, I'm going to say the 1st of March, and started on this journey. And it's just been a blessing, a
Wonderful.
blessing.
So you went through a time with cancer at one point. So tell me more about how it was affecting your weight, how that actually affected.
So my cancer was back in 2012. I did about 7 months of 16 rounds of chemo, which is bad enough. At one point, you have to say which is worse, the chemo or the cancer. And then I had to do 7 weeks of radiation. So that was in 2012, finished in 2013. But with all of the chemo, and found out I was allergic to Benadryl and all that, it packed on about 35 pounds, which I kind of joked with the doctors and said, I thought one of the side effects was weight loss.
Right.
No. But so I thought since naturally it wasn't put on, that naturally it would fall off.
Right.
So I finished in 2013. And the thing that bothered me was the doctors would tell me, you may have bits and particles of chemo in your body for up to 20 years. And that didn't suit well with me. So I thought, okay, well, so I tried from 2013 till now. That's 10 years and I couldn't lose any of it. I'd go down a pound or not. It just wasn't. But the biggest part was not only the weight, but it was the achiness of the joints and just not feeling like I should have felt, I thought, after I finished it. And so that was the tough thing. It was just like, I kind of just thought to myself, that's just a side effect of cancer and I'm never going to lose it. But I knew that there's had to be a way. And I think the biggest thing, what drew me to you was because you didn't start me on, it wasn't about the weight. It was about, how do we get these particles out of my system? How do we get the inflammation out that was caused? How do we get my liver working? Right. And you said we have to start from the inside. So that's why I came to you. It wasn't for the weight loss. If I lost weight, that was just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, I just thought I just turned 60 in December, and this is just what people do. They just have to take this extra 30 or 35 pounds and they have to go with it. So I thought that was my life.
Yeah. So most people are a little skeptical whenever they start a weight loss program. Were you a little skeptical whenever you started this?
I wasn't, because I didn't come to you for weight loss. Yeah. I do work with your wife in banking, and my husband had a heart attack, minor heart attacks. First one, he just turned 60. He had a heart attack in January. That was an eye-opener. We hiked on weekends. We rode bikes. We walk every night. So he wasn't the best eater. But that was an eye-opener. And his cardiologist said, you have to change your lifestyle. You have to get rid of the sodium and you have to eat better. Well, he wasn't the best eater. So the whole family came in. Our 2 kids came in and said, we're gonna do this together. And Melanie approached me and said, Chad and I have a program that we think would benefit your husband and for you, and with your cancer and stuff. And she never said, and you're going to lose weight. It was, we're going to heal you from the inside out. And hey, by the way, if you lose weight, that's great. So I didn't come to you for weight loss. Yeah. I came to you, how do we get all this stuff and get me working? Because you said my first visit, we've got to heal you internally first.
That's right. The weight loss is a beneficial side effect.
And yeah. I am very skeptical of things because I'm so busy. My whole lifestyle, my husband and I are both professional and all over the place. It's so busy that if I don't see results in the first 10 days, yeah, I've moved on. And the first week it was 11 pounds, but it wasn't, the pounds was great. But I knew that may come back. That may be fluid. What I I don't sleep 4 or 5 hours a night. By the end of the first week, I was sleeping 8, 9 hours. My knees stopped hurting in the first week. I had so much energy that, like I said, it was great. If the weight loss happened, that was just icing to the cake.
So describe what it looks like a week on the program, what that looks like.
For me, it was a little bit, I fly by the seat of my pants. I'm all over. I work about 11-hour days. So you showed me how, okay, let's plan this, because if this is a product that you have to plan. So I didn't know how to shop.
Yeah.
We ran to the stores. We didn't decide what was for dinner until my drive home. And I'm like, what are we having for dinner? We had all this processed stuff because it was quick. You showed me how to shop, and it was planning. So we made meal plans. Your book was great because it had all the recipes. It even has the grocery list. It made it so easy. The hardest part was me to learn how to juice the lemons. But the book tells you it all. It's all self-explanatory. So it was just making it a routine.
Right.
And you have
Becoming
to
a
make
lifestyle.
Yes.
Right.
Because it has to be. Well, anything I've ever done before, I didn't make it my lifestyle. This is a lifestyle change. It is not a quick fix. You can't just do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or do it during the week. So, but we were both committed, and I know I'm on the program, but my husband is starting to incorporate like the eating habits. But I think his heart attack and my cancer made us be committed as a family.
Sure.
My son is even out in Denver, and he's an athlete, and he's down 32 pounds just because of
following some of the recommendations. Yep.
Well, yeah. And I mean, the biggest thing was like on vacation. Now, I've been on the program since March, and coming back on the airplane. Now, my husband won't try anything. Okay. No, won't even take a bite. On the way back, he says, I'm going to try your lemon water when we get back.
Nice.
Because he kind of stalled, and I was
Right.
like, really? And so, I think it's just, you get to a point where I'm 60. I do it now, or this is it.
Yeah, it's time for a change.
And I really did think this was what happens at 60. And now I'm going, I feel better at 60 than I did at 50. So yes, we can make changes, but you have to be ready for it. If you're not committed and ready, you're wasting your time.
Definitely. It's for people that are ready to make a change.
And the sad thing is most people that make that change are at the end when they've given up so much.
Right.
And so I'm just glad that's why I said my cancer and my husband's heart attack was the best thing and the worst thing that ever happened to us, because it makes you commit.
It's an awakening.
It is.
For sure.
And I don't want to wish that on anyone, but whatever that awakening is for you, just know that and I know I hear people all the time say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. My lifestyle is so crazy. Yeah. If we can do this, we don't have a choice. Yeah. This is what we do, and so it's our lifestyle now.
So while you were on the program, did you find it that I was easily accessible, or what was your take on that?
You were very accommodating. You were constantly, you have my cell phone. I'm going to text you. I'm going to email you. You email me anytime, day or not, if you need to know questions on any of the condiments or whatever you're doing. You made it so easy because you were always accessible. It wasn't a website we had to go to look. We didn't have to go to a book to look. I had your cell phone. Right. I had it for weekends. I had it for whenever I had a question or you had a question for me. And that's important to me because I'm not techie. You don't know what you read on the internet. You don't know what you read. Some people's websites aren't easy to read. And if you don't call, if you don't find out, you're liable to make the wrong choices. So you made it just so easy for us to, you're in it for the long haul with us, and not just during my visits or my office hours. And so thank you for that, because that is key to the hard part. Starts when we walk out of your office, but we don't have you until the next visit.
Right.
So, and I know I was constantly saying, hey, I bought this. Will this work? Does this work? So Yeah, it was very easy. It's well thought out, and you have a genuine. You partner with us, and you take that serious. And I don't think a lot of places or programs truly know what the word partner means. You are in this with us, and that's important.
Well, I'm very glad you felt that way.
It did.
Yeah,
It was.
for
It was
sure.
very. And I still will need it.
So with most dietary plans, you're following a diet, you're following a specific regimen, and they're usually very restrictive and very limiting, and you're just getting through one day at a time, trying to make it to the next day. Did you find that this program was like that, where it's limiting, it's restrictive, you're just trying to get through to the next day, or have you found it? What's been your experience?
No, because again, this was our lifestyle change. So we changed it day one. We learned how to shop. So we used to being so busy, what can we grab on the way home? Well, now this program and those recipes almost make you crave it because one day we were going to be super late and we're like, what can we eat out? And you're like, I'm not eating that. And our food tastes so much better at home. So we're like, no, no, no. You hit Harder House, I'll meet you at home. But everything now is, even the way we shop is different. The way we wake up, what we do when we first get up in the morning, how important it is to pre-plan. Is it easy? No. I pre-plan every night when I'm putting dinner away. I package. I fill my lemon waters. Whenever we go to Costco, do you need lemons? Yes, we do. So I guess when you make it your lifestyle change, no, because again, it's not a diet plan.
Right.
It's a lifestyle change for us. So with anything, you need 21 days to
21
create a
days to
habit.
form a new habit. Yeah.
When you see the results, you do not want it to be, it is here. Everything else works around it. At work, oh my God, they have food days more than anybody. And people say, is that hard for you? No,
Yeah.
it's not. They can waste their calories. They can waste their time and get inflammation and all that, all they want. I can have my own food days.
Yeah.
And we do. I just eat my stuff. So it's not hard. And I thought it was going to be, I'll be honest with you. I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And then I left here and you had it all in the book. I didn't have to guess. And it's like, wow, we can do this. So, the whole time with getting older, I just assumed that once I hit 60 in December, that this was my life.
Yeah.
And it was sad because, we work our whole life to retire, to travel, but I was out of breath. I was, let's just say 40 to 50 pounds overweight. But I thought, online it says every 10 years you gain 10 pounds or.
Right.
So I just thought, well, this isn't our golden years. There's
Sure.
nothing golden about this. I was out of breath. I wanted to hike. I couldn't hike very long. I hated going shopping for clothes because nothing looked like it looks. They don't make clothes for people that are heavier. It looked terrible. So I was really sad going, this is what I've worked my whole life for, is this. But after being on this program, just since March, just since January, I feel better now than I have felt probably since I was in my late 40s. And I just assumed that this was life, that this was how it is. No one gets healthier as they age usually. So this has been the biggest eye opener. I travel now. We're up at the crack of dawn. We go till late at night. We hike, we walk dogs, we bike. I go into ball games now, by the time you park and walk all the way into the stadiums, I'd be out of breath. I'm like, well, I'm going to sit on this chair over here until we go in. I don't do any of that anymore. So I'm sad that I wasted 10 years thinking that was life. That's not life. Right. We control our life. We control that. And we don't have to we can get better with age. I mean, I thought that was just a saying. We can get better with age and we can feel better. So this has added years and life to my years.
Wonderful.
So, and I'm excited for what we still want to do because, we can slow down the aging process, but it starts within.
Do you think from a long-term standpoint, when you look at what you've done in the last few months and you look at the trajectory of what the next few months and years hold, do you really think that you're going to be able to maintain this for a long period of time?
Yes, this is my
of your
lifestyle.
life? Perfect.
If you asked me right now, so Cindy, what were you doing on the program that you're probably not going to continue?
Sure.
Maybe lemon water all the time?
Right. Yeah.
That's it. I mean, because we're eating normal foods. We're eating regular foods that everyone else eats.
When you eat something that's not normal food, processed
my
foods,
gosh.
can you feel it?
Yes. And when you first told me that, I'm like, well, how quickly? How quickly am I going to see it? Bread. Loved bread.
Right.
Loved rolls. Had a bite of bread a couple days ago, like 3 bites, and I felt bloated. I felt it didn't taste good. I guess my system hadn't recognized it.
Right.
But and I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to tell you that today anyway. When you eat something that isn't, you really probably should have it a different way immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't realize all those years that I ate food that I didn't feel good. I thought I ate too much. But yes, when you eat unhealthy foods, that your system, and that's why I'm pumped to know that my inside is in a good place because it recognizes those bad foods. And so when you eat them once or twice, I don't require bread on a sandwich anymore. I love hamburgers. Yeah. I have hamburgers.
Right.
I don't have it on bread because I feel good. So when you eat something, it's kind of like getting food poisoning. You eat something and it makes you sick.
Yeah. You stay away from it.
You shy away from it. But I was so surprised how quickly, I mean, it affects you within the first hour.
Yeah. You stay away from it for long enough, your body, loses that sensitivity.
Yes.
And then when you get it and you have the inflammation, So do you still want to eat the stuff that you had before?
No. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to look at it. I don't even go down those aisles. It's in my head, and I will never go back there. It's too easy. I thought it was harder to buy the good food. It's not. It's too easy to buy that junk food, and it's not even in my vocabulary anymore.
You've heard the term or the saying that to eat healthy is really expensive. Would you agree with that?
No, not really, because I don't look at the price of my food as being the expense. What I look when you say that is I might be getting the cheap food and the bad food, but then I'm paying it to the doctors and to the bigger clothes and to all the medicine I have to buy. So no. Yeah. It is, if you buy the good food, you eliminate all of the other, and it's out there. There's so many farmers markets. There's so many stores that are organic, and you don't have to get organic. You just have to get healthy foods. It's probably easier for me to buy the good foods because they're first. Yeah. You got to move past all of that to get to all the other junk foods. And when you start finding out what that stuff is made of, I'm surprised we all lived as long as we've lived. True. So no, it's not hard to buy the good stuff. Matter of fact, with all of the online shopping and everything now and Amazon, the good food comes just as easy as the bad food.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And tastes better.
Right.
You have no idea what your food really tastes like until it's the good food.
That's exactly right.
And that's been an eye-opener too, because like some of the foods I've ate, I'm like, this doesn't taste like the spaghetti I was used to. Yeah. Well, that's because it wasn't spaghetti I was eating. It was all of the preservatives and everything. So you don't know what a real tomato tastes like and what real spaghetti or real steak. You don't know any of that until you buy the good stuff. Then you're hooked.
Right.
So no, it's not hard at all for me. I will say another thing that's been very, very important, and I am still learning it, is something you said to me. You said you want us to use a lot of spices. And I never played with spices. I thought spices tasted like they smelled.
Right.
Not at all.
Not the case.
And so I am now playing more, and I thought spices covered up your foods. Basically, they don't. They enrich your food. And so I'm playing with that more. So I think it's the unknown, not knowing. You take all that stuff for granted. Oh, that's just something somebody's selling.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not like I'm changing anything because it's our life now and food you have to have. But you can make the smarter choices that make you feel better. And I think a big thing is once you get healed inside, you realize you don't need as much food as you thought you needed. I get full so quickly.
Right. Yes.
And it's like, nope, because I'm still walking tonight and I'm still doing this. So all those years of feeling bad after dinner, I thought was normal. It's not normal. So this has definitely been a big eye opener. And I don't just look it, I feel it. I feel it in my bones. I don't ache. And my husband doesn't either. And like I said, it's almost a craving. When you get healthy, you crave it.
Right.
I mean, if I don't get all my steps in, and I'm up to like 12 to 15,000 a day, if I don't get them in, and I'm like, I have a half hour of daylight. Let's go, dogs. Let's go again. You crave it. You also crave good food.
Yes. Right.
You crave the home you doing it because you're not gonna know what's in that food unless you make it yourself. And so, but I don't want to scare people because every time you do go out to dinner, there is something on that menu
Right.
you can have.
Yeah.
You just have to tell them, please don't put salt and pepper on mine. Please don't put butter on mine. But the restaurants and places have restrictions now for people on allergies anyway.
Certainly.
So again, lifestyle change takes a little bit more planning, but it's benefiting me. So don't cheat yourself. Take the time. And if you're going to pay somebody to make your food, they need to make it like you want.
Right.
So, but I guarantee you, my biggest, I just can't say enough, is the health part, my numbers.
Right.
My doctors are happy. I mean, the rest will come.
Sure.
You just fix the inside. Yeah. And I'm just lucky enough that this program has fixed every one of my avenues.
Yeah.
We didn't leave anything out. And, now it's my job now to do the exercise to firm up, but it makes you want to do it.
Well, you've put in a lot of work, and
It just didn't seem like work, though.
yeah.
It was fun. It was motivating. So when you say work, I'm like, now it's not easy,
Right.
but it was fun.
Right. And the longer you go, the easier it gets.
You're right. It does. And I think it's just because of the unknown. We learn it more. We feel what works. Mm-hmm. I used to do some exercises that I thought were working. I was just wasting my time. So you find and you feel and you know what works. And that's exciting to finally figure out that I'm not reliant on you. Right. You've taught me the tools and now I can feel them. I can see them. So it's almost like that's when you take possession of it. It's yours. Yep. It's now your lifestyle. Right. So, when I would see these people that worked out every morning and every night, I'm like, you have no life. How can you do that and have a life? Yeah, you can. Yeah. I haven't given up anything in my life except all the bad stuff. Right. And so when you give up the bad, there's so much room for good in there. And then when you see it's benefiting, and everyone around you sees it. So the people I work with, my family members, now our best friends are riding bikes and walking. It motivates other people. And so I think that's a plus too, because they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then when I start telling them about shopping, well, how you shop? Can't go in the center of the grocery store. You got to go to the outside of the grocery store. You got to buy, you got to buy the good stuff. Yeah. So I might have to go to 2 stores, but it's well worth it when you see what you get out of it and how you feel. That is my biggest thing is the looking. Yes, I'm pumped over that, but it's the feeling. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm motivated and it won't change. It's my lifestyle.
So some prospective patients, may think to themselves, I wonder what the most challenging part is or what the hardest part is. What would you say?
If you have children at home, okay, my children are grown, but we actually got ours on the bandwagon, but ours are grown. And so I would say if you had children at home that aren't on your program, you're making multiple meals. You're making, that and had to go on a vacation. So this is the first vacation since March. And, ours was a driving one, driving down the coast highway and stuff. So you're limited when you go into some of these towns. But if you know that there is something on every menu you are going to be able to see. And so I didn't have as much problems as I thought. The hardest part was you can't take lemon juice on an airplane.
Right.
But, there are Trader Joe's there and we've got lemon juice there and stuff. So I would just say pre-planning. You gotta pre-plan. And the hardest would probably be if you had, if you had to make multiple meals. Kids are eating fries and pizza and everything.
Right.
I would say that's a little hard. But, we can have pizza. We just have to make it a certain way.
On occasion.
Cauliflower crust, you got on occasion. And I think that's the thing. Again, it's mental. Once you see how good you feel, this first trip, oh my God, I fit in the seats at the airport, in the airplanes. It was no big deal to run 2 miles down an airport. I told my husband, I go, we can travel so much easier. You don't realize how, when you're packing on pounds and you're unhealthy, you don't realize, I didn't realize that's why I felt bad. And, you're squished into seats and you can breathe. I mean, our hikes were 3 miles, and my husband used to say to me, "We'll turn around as soon as you tell me when we need to turn around." Now he's like, "You sure don't need to turn around?" Nope. I mean, we're doubling our hikes, we're doing everything, but it makes you. It's almost like you're craving to be healthier, and you feel it and you see it.
Yeah.
So for me personally and my family, it's not. It has been. It makes me sad to know that I waited this long to do something that I thought was harder that's not.
So weight loss wasn't the primary motivator,
Nope.
but for some people it is the primary motivator. So tell us a little bit about how much weight you've lost, what that was like.
So I've been on the program since March. Now, I did start in January when my husband had his heart attack, but between January and March, just on my own with taking out sodium, I'd only lost 7 pounds. So I started with you in March, and with my 7, I'm down 50 pounds. It's crazy because that's just hard to say, that's like a child,
Right.
That's been on my back. And I'm about 2 pounds from my goal, but I think we're going to take that goal down another because I feel good and I feel like there's room. So it wasn't about time frame. Do not put a time frame on it. It's not. Just say, I made references, wanted to be here by this date, by this vacation.
Of course.
Want to look good when I go to this outdoor wedding. And now my next goal is, let's keep doing this and see how good I feel by the end of the year because it's my lifestyle now.
Yeah. So changes internally, blood chemistry. So when we talk about, blood testing,
Yes.
you've gone to other physicians and had your blood test because of some of the follow-up appointments that you have to have. Have you seen any changes in your blood chemistry?
Oh, it's crazy. I know I bring it to you, and I brought another one today. I still am on a program with them, so I see my doctors every 4 months, and I've seen them both now, and they were just like, my one last week was just like, what happened between now and February? And then even the nurse was like, "Is this right that you've lost all this weight?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Look at your numbers. All of my numbers are all down." I mean, now I didn't have to take blood pressure medicines. I didn't have to do all that, but my numbers are all down. They're like, "You're in better health than you were when you started your cancer." I'm like, "I know." I sleep now. I wasn't sleeping. I hadn't slept for years. 5 hours was my goal, and I didn't. I have no more aches, no more pains. I used to take 3 ibuprofen a day.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't. I used to be achy when I got back from our walks every night with the dogs or the riding. I'd be out of breath. I'm hiking and I'm putting a backpack on now. Hey, let me carry that backpack. So all of my numbers are down. The only medications I'm on are multivitamins. So, I mean, it is amazing. And that was my goal. Now, we have no way of knowing if I still have particles of chemo.
Right.
But I'm going to say with all of the good going,
Yeah.
they outweigh
Right.
the bad. So, I mean, and that's the biggest thing. Like I said again, if you can get the weight off, great. But if you can heal from inside,
Yeah.
that's all of our organs. I mean,
Right.
hopefully they're doing the happy dance.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, blood
So-
chemistry changes and the physical changes, they're all byproducts of basically becoming healthy, right? And there's so many different components to that. Digestive health, the way that your body's breaking down the nutrients, the way those nutrients are getting absorbed. And so it's been a great process for you walking through that
It has,
program.
but you opened my eyes to that because see, I thought, okay, you want me to let's lose the weight and then will it fix the inside? And you were like, we gotta fix the inside and that'll fix the weight. So all these years I kept saying, oh, I'll wait till I can lose the weight. Oh, I'll wait. Don't wait. It's fix the inside and the inside will take care of the outside. And I didn't realize that until you told me about how everything works and how they play off of each other. And I just didn't think we could fix those with carrying around an extra, which I gained 35, but I was probably 10 over anyway. So I probably needed to lose the 50.
Right.
But I just didn't think you could fix the inside still carrying around that 50. But then I've learned that there are people that are heavier that are really healthy. It's just their
Metabolism
and they're healthier. So I think once you look at the big picture and you go, oh, leave it up to the professionals. Don't try to do this stuff on your own. Don't be Googling stuff. Come in and find out what you need and you won't waste all the time that I wasted. I just thought, well, I was on a medicine for cancer for 10 years. And in February, I did hit the 10-year mark. I got to ring the bell and I got to stop that medicine. And that was one of the big things that also brought me in March. Great. I stopped it. It's in my system for 6 weeks. Now do your job.
Right. Yeah.
Do your job and fix me.
Right.
And so it was all perfect timing.
Yeah. Well, I can't thank you enough for sharing your story and for being here today.
Thank you.
I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I tell everyone and every doctor that says, who are you seeing?
Well,
And
thank
it's
you.
hard because, that is something you have, it might not be one person. It may take a group of people to get you where you need to be. And I just think, I just thank God that I got here. And the food is great. Once you start making it, you're like, I can eat this healthy stuff.
Right.
And you make it easy. You give us the recipes,
Right.
So
I'm
thank
glad
you.
that it's been a good journey.
It is.
been a
The food
great
is
patient to
good.
work with.
It's normal food.
Right.
It's,
It's
the
normal
food
food.
is
You fix
good.
it. You fix it yourself.
I will say, I want to thank you because you never stop. Your job's not done when you hit your goal weight, You're constantly giving us more. Now let's work on exercises and now let's work on this and I appreciate that because so many programs, they give you a starting point and they give you an ending point and they're like, okay, we're done with you, on to the next. And it's not like that. It's like, well, whatever you need, we're going to do this till
Yeah.
you're done. So thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for making it easy for me.
You're very welcome.